Every 26 seconds, a violent crime occurs in the United States. It's a chilling fact that underscores the harsh reality we face daily. The frequency of these heinous acts is staggering, their impact profound. Today, we bring to light 3 shocking cases that exemplify this grim statistic. We journey from a killing spree in Texas to a heart-wrenching case of domestic violence in New York, and finally, to a mother's untimely demise in Houston. Stay with us as we delve into the chilling details of these real-life crime stories. In the fall of 2020, the state of Texas was gripped by fear as Jeremy Rashad Williams embarked on a deadly killing spree. Over a span of 3 weeks, Williams extinguished 4 lives, leaving communities in shock and mourning. His first victim, Robert Jaden Urea, was waiting for an Uber after a Halloween party when Williams struck. 2 weeks later, Adam Gautreaux met a similar fate, followed by Jerome Hamilton, whose life was taken less than an hour later. Williams's reign of terror culminated on November 18th, when he killed Blair Carter, the father of his ex-girlfriend, and set his house on fire. Each murder was a chilling testament to Williams's ruthlessness and disregard for human life. The impact of his actions reverberated through the victims' families, their grief palpable as they provided testimony at his sentencing. Williams was arrested on the very day he committed his last act of violence. He later pleaded guilty to his crimes, accepting a plea deal that ensures he will spend the rest of his life in prison. Though this guarantees he will never walk freely amongst us again, it does little to fill the void left in the hearts of those who loved his victims. Williams will spend the rest of his life behind bars, a small comfort to the families of the victims whose lives were tragically cut short. On a desolate highway, Vanessa Pierre, pregnant and full of hope for the future, met a tragic end at the hands of her boyfriend, Goey Charles. The chilling details of this case unfolded through the unblinking eye of a surveillance camera. Charles, in a car registered to Pierre, pulled over, climbed into the back seat, and committed the heinous act of strangling his own girlfriend. The footage didn't stop there. It captured the aftermath, as Charles dragged Pierre's lifeless body out of the car, leaving her on the side of the road like discarded refuse. After a thorough investigation, Charles was convicted of second-degree murder. A court of law saw him for what he was, a perpetrator of intimate partner violence. His conviction brings a small semblance of justice, but it doesn't erase the pain, the loss, or the shocking reality of this crime. Vanessa Pierre's murder is a grim testament to a wider societal issue. The prevalence of intimate partner violence, especially among Black women, is a stain on our collective conscience. These women, like Vanessa, often find themselves at the receiving end of this violence, their lives cut short by those they trust the most. Charles now faces 25 years in prison, a stark reminder of the deadly consequences of domestic violence. Despite the heavy sentence, there is no victory here, only the sobering knowledge that Vanessa Pierre's life was ended too soon, a life that held so much promise, a life that should have carried on. A routine drive turned deadly for Sherniqua Banks, a Houston mother who was shot in front of her 3-year-old son. This horrifying incident unfolded on September 7th when Banks, age 34, was found fatally shot in a crashed car. Her young son was unharmed in the back seat, a silent witness to the chilling event that claimed his mother's life. The prime suspect, Dominique Menifee, aged 30, was arrested and charged with murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in connection with Banks' death. It's reported that Menifee began shooting at Banks' car while driving along West Gulf Bank Road. A 41-year-old man in the front passenger seat was also shot, but is expected to survive. But the story of Menifee doesn't start there. He was on parole for aggravated robbery, and chillingly had been charged with felony drug possession and released on bond just days before the shooting. With Menifee's arrest, Banks's family expressed their grief publicly. They called for accountability for those who let Menifee slip through the cracks. Their heartbreak is palpable, a tragic reminder of the human cost behind these grim statistics and news reports. As Menifee faces the consequences of his actions, Banks's family continues to grieve, forever marked by this senseless act of violence. The tragedy of Sherniqua Banks is a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and accountability in our justice system. Her story underscores the devastating impact of violence, leaving a void that can never be filled. These chilling stories remind us of the devastating impact of violent crime. From the Texas killing spree to Vanessa Pierre's tragic end, and Shernica Banks's untimely death, we are reminded of the urgent need for justice and accountability. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the dark side of human nature. Don't forget to subscribe for more chilling true crime stories. Stay safe out there.